Terry, happy Wednesday, my friend. How are you?
Good, and you?
Some technical difficulties this morning.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I'm having my headphones aren't working as well as they like. I can hear you, but it's kind of muffled.
Yeah.
And just trying to make sure we catch up on some of these late scratches
Yeah, they
right at the last minute.
came in really late.
And then, of course, today is Hump Day.
It is a big hump day.
Big Hump Day. So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be at PARX again, which is which is the plan. But instead of our prime rib pick 4, they have a mandatory pick 5 payout today. The carryover was about $500,000 last night, so they expect that to be over $1 million today. So that should be fun. Yeah, it's one I'm definitely going to play, Terry, and hope that hopefully I can cash my ticket. I'm going to play my ticket as is when we get to it.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah, so let's hope that I can find my way into the winner's circle. You ready to get started on this day, Terry?
I am.
All right, before we do that, just let me make sure I have everything where it's supposed to be before I get ahead of myself here. All right, everything is where it's supposed to be. No human difficulties, just technical difficulties today, Terry.
Yep.
So race number 1 at PARX is there is a human error right here. It is a 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a handicap $16,000 with a $65,000 purse. Today is a big day in terms of the number of races there. They have, I think, 6 or 7 of them that have $65,000, $75,000 purse prize. So it's a lot of good horses in these fields today. Some scratches in this first race, Terry.
Yeah.
To take a look at a mile and 70 yards, the profile of a winner. They've run 63 races, Terry. 43 were won by speed. 16 of the 43 went wire to wire. There is a small inside 3 and 8+ bonus. Go ahead and tell me what you're going to do here to get our day started.
All right. First of all, the 1 and the 3 are scratched, so we can start out with that. Number 2, Owen's Pleasure is my first choice. She won her last 2 races in a row at PARX, so now she's going for a hat trick. She has a highest last race speed rating and a good 4-furlong workout at 48.2 breezing. She was a 9th best out of 67 workouts. Number 5, Elusive Amelia, tried Laurel and now returns to PARX that she seems to like better. The trainer jockey combination the last 14 days has been in the money 8 out of 12 times, winning 3 of those. And number 4, Lean on E, finished in the money in the last 6 out of 7 races at PARX, and she won one of those races. And then number 7, Tulsa, finished 3rd in her last race, increasing her speed rating in each of the last 3 races.
Stealing my angles, Terry? Way to go. So like you, I'm going to start with the 2 horse. I feel like looking at this card, the 2 horse might be one of the easier winners on the day. There isn't a lot of get out of the gate and go types in this field here. Odds are the winner will be close to the pace all the way around the track. Owen's Pleasure has 4 consecutive speed increases. It showed some better 2 and 4 furlong numbers last time out. Only horse in the field to pop a number above par on the speed gun last time out. Did so with some of the fastest opening fractions, but also has the best late pace numbers by a wide margin. Number 7, Tilsa, is a track drop for me, Terry, coming in from Gulfstream Park and Laurel. As you mentioned, has run at PARX 8 times, 3 wins, a 2nd and 2/3. Horse is making its 2nd start off a layoff and showed some nice improvement in the last run last time out. So I'm expecting more from this horse with the top pedigree. Number 5, Elusive Amelia, was the favorite last time out for Jamie Ness, who's got a lot of favorites there. In fact, it's at 659 favorites that ran and didn't win in the last 12 months. 185 of them came back to win the next time out. So saw some nice regression, though, unfortunately, in the last race. So I'm a little bit worried about that regression last time out. It actually wouldn't be nice. It would be bad, but it does have the best late pace numbers for the horses that should be close to the lead. And then I'm closing it out with number 4, Lean on Me. Again, you got to kind of toss out that last one, but has run pretty well at PARX. 14 times, 4 wins, 5 seconds, and 2/3, and also hit the board in 7 out of 10. This was not an original top 4 pick for me, kind of scratched into this spot. Yeah. Race number 2 is another race of a handicap, 16,000 versus 65,000. This time they're going to run 6.5 furlongs on the track. And at 6.5 furlongs, they've done it 25 times, 16 won by speed, 11 going gate to wire. There is a strong rail bias and an inside 3 bias overall. And the 8+ outperforms 4 through 7. Neither one of us has the rail horse, but I think he scratched here, right?
Yeah. The scratches are the one Big City Bob. So, All righty. Well, let me start off by saying I like number 5 as the top tick, Kid Dioro. He won his last race at PARX and earned the highest last speed rating. And this trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have won 3 out of 12 races, finished the money 8 times. Number 3 is Servier. Has won 6 out of the last 10 races. So he's kind of a winning machine. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a good 4 furlong workout, 47.3, breezing, second best out of 67. Number 7 is my third pick, Lawan. Ran second in last race and switches to a high percentage trainer. And number 2, Peanut Butter Special. Ran third in the last race and likes this track and can handle the distance.
Was a challenging card today, man. I yesterday, Terry, I was bummed. I mean, really bummed at the end of the day. I was this close to a $10,000 hot dog pick 4 yesterday.
Yes, you were. You were absolutely.
If I had just moved the 13 into the 3 leg and then any of the other legs went 2, I would have been home free. But that's horse racing is like fishing. There's always the big one that got away.
That's right.
So we're doing race 2, correct?
That's right. It's your turn.
Yeah. So and this is another race where there is not an overabundance of speed. So I fully expect a horse that's close to the front to make it home first. Lawan I'm going to take a little shot here with Lawan up top. Showed some nice 2 and 4, 2 furlong and late pace improvement last time, and does have the top early pace numbers by a little bit. Number 5, Sevier, maybe something like that. Run at PARX a bunch of times, 11, won 9 of them. That last race, however, was really ugly. Sometimes when the horses run an ugly race, the next time it rebounded, but that nasty regression has me a little bit concerned. Number 3, Kid.
Yeah,
Dioro.
The last one was number 3.
So Kid Dioro, his third time off a layoff, upped its pace figures all across the board from gate to wire last time out, and did so with a top last race speed figure that was above par for this group, running its top an increased number for the 3rd race in a row. But on the other side, where Servier had just a nasty race with bad regression, and you expect maybe a bounce back up, I'm a little bit worried about a bounce down from Kid Dioro. And then finally, number 2, Peanut Butter Special. Chased some really quick fractions last time around the track. Could improve this time in his second time off the bench, and I don't suspect he's going to get the same sort of pace here that he had to chase around the track last time. I was paying on all 4 of my 5 pick 5s and 3s and pick 4s and yeah, you would be wealthy. Wouldn't we all, right?
Yeah,
that would be. Sometimes I wish I would just get paid on one, and that would be that right one.
Like the $10,000 one yesterday.
$10,000. The worst one for me ever, Terry, was the Kentucky Derby when Giacomo won. Yeah. I was going to head off to Germany to visit my grandmother out there because she was staying in Germany with her sister. And so normally I would go bet and watch it on TV. And a friend of mine, I told him, Larry, come on, let's go over and bet the Derby today. But he did not agree with me on my picks. And normally we split them. And it was $120. I could have did it myself, but I'm like, I'm going on vacation. I want to have as much money as I can to do the trifecta. And the one Giacomo won, I think it paid like $120,000 or something like that. And I'm standing there watching the Kentucky Derby while the taxi cab was waiting for me at the front door. When they all came in, it was all I could do. I walked into the cab and everyone was like, what's wrong with you? I was pale as a ghost. Anyway, I'm sure we all have a story like that, right?
Oh, yeah. I had one on a pick 5 where I picked out of Australia. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to save $20-some. So I took it back out. And, of course, that was the one that won the last leg and paid several $1,000s. I'm still kicking myself.
Yeah, well, don't be too hard on yourself.
Yep.
Well, I want to say thank you to Kuzma for giving us a thumbs up there on Facebook. We appreciate that. You can do like him if you like what we saw. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube as well as Facebook, because the more we get, the higher up we go in their search engines. All right, Terry, on the race number 3, another handicap of 16,000 with a purse of 65,000. This one is 6 furlongs, Terry. And if you've paid attention to us over the last couple of days, you will know that they've run 64 races, 43 were run by speed, 17 have gone wire to wire, but you do not want to put the one horse on the top of your ticket because it's only won once in 64 races. It's not to mean it can't happen a second time. All other positions play pretty fairly. How are you going to go with this one?
Well, first of all, there's no worries because the 1 is scratched.
Well, the 2 kind of moves down to that spot, but
that's right. Yeah. So I like the number 5 as my first pick, Walk Me Home. She has won 2 out of the last 4 races, and she likes this distance, finishing in the money 80% of the time and winning 20% of those races. She likes the track, finishing in the money 75% of the time and winning 38% of the time. Then number 4, Gia's Fugo. Won 2 races in a row at PARX. She has the highest last speed rating, actually tied with another horse. Then number 3, Anita Sasa. Ran second in her last race. The jockey in the last 7 days has been in the money 7 out of 11 times, winning 3 of those. And then number 2, Midtown Rose. She has the highest last speed rating. It's actually tied with the horse above that I talked about, and the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
So yeah, I'm going to start home with Walk Me Home as well. Horse likes PARX. And this is one that looks a lot like the last race, where there's not too many boom or bust front runners. Speed of speed or a fast one with some late legs is likely to get the job done here. I expect that Walk Me Home will sit right off the pace and have some of the best late pace numbers in this field. Number 6, World Gone Wild. I mean, is that not absolutely descriptive of what's gone on in the last year or so?
Yeah, absolutely. It sure is.
Track drop from Gulfstream Park. I got to like that. Ruben Silvera, the jockey, gets off the number 4, Gia's Fuego, and rides the 6. Considering how well that 4 has run of late, you got to wonder why he made that move. Looking at this horse, it's got 3 good works, 2 very strong of them at PARX, and has some really good giddy up and go with the fastest quarter mile fraction that any horse has put on for this field. Number 4, Gia's Fuego, as I mentioned, Ruben Silvera gets off this horse despite winning 2 in a row and in the money at PARX 7 out of 9 at the distance 6 times, 3 wins, 2 seconds. And you saw some notable late pace improvement in that last one. And then finally, number 3, Atina Salsa, second off the bench for this horse. So I'm expecting a little bit more, especially since there was a decent workout in the middle. Was a tough call for me over number 2, Midtown Rose, but I preferred Atina's PARX record over Midtown Rose. Race number 4, Terry, is your Box It Up, my friend. And this is where we take 4 horses, put them all together in a box, and then we do a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, and a 10-cent superfecta box.
Yeah, that's true. So I start off with my Box It Up with number 2. She's a double take. She ran second versus Tougher in her last race and only lost by a head, earning the highest last speed rating. She drops in class today, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 8, Fly Bird. Trainer wins 23% of the time when going from a route to a sprint, and this one can improve while returning to a sprint. The trainer in the last 14 days has won 50% of the races, 8 out of 4. Has won 4 out of 8 races. And then number 5, Susie Q, the Queen, finished third versus similar at PARX last race. And then I like Pam always gets even.
Pam always gets even, yes.
That's right. She may return while returning to a sprint. She may improve, while returning to a sprint.
Yes. So looking at, for me, for race number 4, that's Terry's Box It Up. Again, 4 horses, $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. Race number 4 is a 5.5 furlong race. They've run 27 races so far, 20 of which have been won by speed horses, 10 of 27 going wire to wire. There's a small penalty if you wear a number 2 or number 3, of course. So we both decide to start with the number 2, right?
Yep.
Everything else is even. And when I was reviewing this race, Terry, I felt like half of the horses don't even have a chance to win this. I won't say which ones don't have a chance to win this maiden claiming $10,000 race, because if I told you which ones that don't have a chance, then they would go 1, 2, 3, 4. They would absolutely be the box of the day. So I'm going to start with She's a Double Take 2. Did run the top last race, Speed Vigor. This will be its third start off a layoff. And you saw some really nice late pace improvement. It really jumped up in the last. And on top of that late pace improvement, the horse does have some back speed with the fastest quarter mile fractions any horse has run in this field. Number 6, Luna Fortuna, far and away the top early pace numbers in this field. Usually breaks clean and could shake free and be tough to catch without a lot of pressure. If he can hit the quarter mile marker in half mile marker, in 40 seconds, 47 seconds or over. If he did it in 40, he'd be going way too fast. But in 47, I think they're not going to pass him. Number 7, Caliente Rum, showed some early pop in his second career start before fading hard, and that was his last race. Gets Lasix for the first time here, and there's really not a whole lot to beat in this crew. And then number 5, Susie Q, the Queen, scratched into this because of some scratches in this race for me. Otherwise, would not have made my top 4 picks.
Same with mine. Race
number 5, Terry, is a 5.5 furlongs, just like we talked about last time. This one is a handicap for $8,000 with a $55,000 purse. This is my best bet of the day, number 8. Looking at this field, Terry, 5 of the 8 in this group. So unlike the last few races where speed really hasn't been there's not like an overwhelming amount of speed, but 5 of the 8 in this group want the lead. And I think that number is even bigger with a couple of scratches because I did the pacing last night. That should set the pace for a horse that has a little bit of late energy. I like Flashing Diamond as my best bet of the day. Run at the distance 5 times, 4 wins and a second. So you're going to get a good effort at 5.5 furlongs. Should get plenty of pace up top with the late pace numbers, but I don't think that Flashing Diamond will be all that far off the leaders. How about you?
Yeah, I like Flashing Diamonds as my top pick too. Number 8, she ran second in her last race and has the highest last race speed rating. And she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. So she marks a lot of boxes. And I like number 1, Dilly Dilly Philly. Won her last race at PARX, has a trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days, who has won 3 out of 12 starts. And then she has a good workout on March 1st. Number 7, Black Channel, is my third pick. Won her last 2 races in a row at PARX, so now she's going for a hat trick. And then I like number 6, Always Talking. She ran second in her last race and has a jockey in the last 7 days who has won 3 out of 11 races, finishing the money 7 times out of 11 times.
I got a little bit of a message up here that don't save. All right. So for me in this particular spot, I mentioned that the 8 horse here is my top choice. My second choice is Dilly Dilly Philly. We got to have a horse named Dilly Dilly Philly on a day we're doing the Philly Big 5.
That's right.
3 consecutive speed figure increases, and I expect this one will sit right behind the pilot and co-pilot and run by whoever is tiring in the stretch. Number 7, Back Channel, making the third off a layoff. Won the first 2 races by at least 4.5 lengths, 4.25 lengths. 2 for 2 at PARX, and showed some really nice 2 and 4 furlong improvement last time out. And you and I are in exact order here. Number 6, Always Talking. I guess that could be my nickname instead of Unquestionably Rich. Could be the speed of the speed, or maybe number 2, but this horse tends to break the best of all of the speed horses. Tonight, I'll be doing some more talking, Terry, with Sean. We're going to be talking tonight with jockey David Cabrera, who has been lighting up Oaklawn Park, which is a kind of interesting track to go to. If you've never talked to or seen the Mr. David Cabrera, you will see that this is probably one of the single most upbeat gentlemen that you're ever going to come across. Always a smile. Look, he's not even trying to smile in that picture, and he's smiling.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah, I've said that David has a chance to be like a motivational speaker, a Tony Robbins of Tony Robbins after Tony Robbins is gone. But Sean and I will be talking to David about the secrets to winning at Oaklawn Park and other things tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe so that you'll be notified, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when we go live. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Horse Race, the number 2 day. You see it down there on the scroll bar. Make sure you do that, because once we get to 1,000 followers on Twitter, guess what's going to happen, Terry?
Yeah, Sean's going to do TikTok dancing with flaming chainsaws, and also in a Speedo. So.
Yes, we can't wait for that. That you'll never be able to unsee that once you've seen it, Terry. That's going to be one of those type of things.
Yep.
All right, so now we're off to race number 6 in the middle of the card. Race number 6. Hold on one second, Terry. I'll pop up the screen here again. Race number 6 is a mile and a 16th, another handicap $16,000 race for a purse of $65,000. At a mile and a 16th, they've only run 13 races. 7 of them won by horses that stalked or closed. 4 of the 13 went wire to wire, and there's absolutely a bias of 4 and out. But I think with some scratches in this race, it's not a lot of depth here, I don't think.
No, that's true. I like number 3, Divine Miracle, as my top pick. Won 3 races in a row at PARX, and he has the highest high percent winning trainer and jockey. And then number 7, Roan Mountain. He finished in the money in the last 6 races and won one of those. The trainer wins 28% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And then number 4, Double the Heart. Won his last 2 races in a row at PARX. He likes the track and can handle this distance. And then number 5, Doo Wop Don. Won 3 out of the last 5 races, running second versus similar on an all-weather track in the last race at PARX.
We're in race number 6, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so the 5 horse is, am I looking at the right one? Because you said, what is the horse's name? Buab Dop?
Yeah, it's not though, is it?
No, it's number 5 is Bump Purdue.
Yeah, yep, you're right about that.
You're confusing me sometimes, Terry.
Well, I think it's because of all these darn scratches.
Yeah, that can do that to you. I like Divine Miracle as well. Who doesn't like a Divine Miracle? I can use one every now and then. Undefeated in 3 at PARX. Should be close to the front from start to finish. And this is a race that doesn't have a lot of early pace in it, with 4 of the 7, including with some scratches, even probably less, that like to come from the back of the pack or the middle of the pack and come forward. I think the winner is going to be forwardly placed all the way around the track. Divine Miracle fits that bill. Number 7, Roan Mountain, has the best late pace figures in the field, but showed some improvement in the early half of the race last time out. And then at this distance has run 13 times, finished in the money 12 of 13. Colonel Juan, only in the field with the last race speed figure, number 2, above par for this group on January the 19th. Has one decent workout since then. And then Bump Purdue, the horse that you think is going to finish 4th, I think is going to finish 4th. Did not make my initial cut, but because of scratches, finds its way into the 4th spot. I don't think it can win, but maybe it has a shot to show up for some money. Race number 7 is a mile and 70 yards again. This is a claiming $10,000 race, non-winners of 1 lifetime. And if the profile of a winner for a mile and 70 yards, 63 races, 43 won by speed, 16 going wire to wire. There's a small inside 3 bias and a 8+ bonus. And race number 7 is my box it up, Terry.
It is.
Yeah. So let me pull that up on the screen here real quick. My box it up. And I saw Sean need to do a dancing TikTok. Yeah, he does have to do one. Once we get to that 1,000, he's going to do it for sure. In Speedos with flaming chainsaws. We'll make sure they're, the plastic chainsaws kids play with, but we can up it a little bit with real ones. But for me, race number 7, there is a lack of early tempo here. And again, should favor horses near the front of the pack from the word go. Jammin' Jimtown. Terry, I have one in my picks that you don't even have.
That's right. You sure
Scares
do.
me a little bit. This one reminds me of that 13 that won yesterday at 13-1. Chased a hotter than average pace last time around the track and shouldn't see that same kind of pace here. I expect that you'll see the horse showed some nice 4 furlong and late pace improvement in its last race, so should have a little bit of an extra kick. Is making its third start off a layoff for the horse that has the fastest quarter mile fractions and ran some of the fastest opening quarter fractions last time out. So I think Jammin' Jimtown's going to be well positioned to take him wire to wire. Number 1, Grit and Grind. Just missed in his last with an impressive late run, 3 consecutive speed figure increases, and this will be the third start off the bench. Number 12, Wagon Boss, is yet another making a third start off the layoff. Was better in its form from start to finish in its last race and gets a weight break on the outside. Just another thing that 13 got yesterday to beat that 10. At PARX has run 4 times, 2 wins and 2/3. And then finally, close out my box with number 4, Social Group. Does have the top early pace and late pace combination in the field, with the top early pace numbers just by a fraction for the horse that owns the top pedigree. That's my box it up, Terry. How are you going to do race number 7 and the start of this filly pick 5?
That's right. And I like that outside horse. Number 12 is my first choice, Wagon Boss. He's won 2 out of the last 3 races. The trainer wins 19% of the time when bringing back the winner of their last race to race again. Number 6 is my second choice in Equality. Won his last 2 races in a row at PARX and has a good workout on February 10th, 48.3 breezing, 4th best out of 35. And then I like number 1 is my third pick, Grittin' and Grindin'. Grittin' and Grind closed in his last race to lose only by a nose. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the trainer-jockey combination the last 14 days has been in the money 8 out of 12 times, winning 3 of those. Then I like number 4, Social Group. Ran second versus similar in the last race and received the highest last race speed rating.
Nick, I'm sorry. If I said the 7, I apologize. Maybe I said race 7, but number 2 right here, I do have it as my top pick. So it is Jammin' Jimmin'. Did I write it down as the 7 on my notes? Let me just double check to make sure. No, I have him as the 2. I must have just misspoke because of race 7. So forgive me. My dyslexia jumps in there from time to time, messes me up. Right, Terry?
That's right. Yep.
Absolutely. Race number 8 is the second leg of this filly pick 5 that Terry and I are going to tackle today. In just a minute, we'll share our tickets with you. Race number 8 is a handicap, 8,000, purse of 55,000. Another one of these similar type races, a mile and 70 yards. And again, we talked about a mile and 70 yards for race number 7. But just a quick recap: 63 races, mostly won by speed. 16 of them going wire to wire. You have a small inside 3 and 8+ bias. Race number 8, we both like the 10, the 6, the 4, and the 3, and just a slightly different order.
That's right. And I like the number 10, Miss Dillingham, as my first choice. She won 3 out of the last 4 races, and she has the highest last speed rating. And the trainer and jockey combination in the last 14 days has done very well, winning 3 out of 12. Then number 6, Malibu Anthem. Won 4 races in a row at PARX, so really going for a 5th one in a row. The trainer in the last 14 days has a record of 3 wins out of 7 starts. And then I like number 4 as my third pick, Tis a Sharpie. Won 2 races in a row at PARX. The trainer wins 66% of the time when bringing a horse back after it's won its last race. And then number 3, my third pick is Fleeter Than. Won 2 races of the last 3 races at PARX. The trainer wins 33% of the time when dropping off of a win. Trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 3 races. And then I like number 7, Hay Buck. I mean, have to like that horse with my last name being Hay.
Which one?
Number 7.
On race number 8?
Yeah, isn't that right?
Well, you have 10, 6, 3, 4, and 3 on the sheets that you sent me. Maybe I put the wrong number in. Let me look real quick. Let me check real quick, Terry.
Okay.
Male Terry. We're in race number 8, right?
Yeah.
Race number 8. It is the 7. I don't know why I have the 10, 6, 4. No, you had 10, 6, 4, 3, and then 7 was like your first alternative.
Yeah. I think
there a scratch in there?
In late 8, the number 1 scratch.
Right, but you don't have the one in your 8 picks.
All right.
There.
Well.
So you want the 3 or the 7? Which one do you want at the end there?
Oh, I'm sorry. It should be the 3, Fleeter Than, who won 2 races of the last 3. So,
all right. So I do have it right on the screen.
You do, right? And I have it wrong.
All right. Well, that happens sometimes. So every now and then there's the broken clock theory, right? Where I get
That's
one right and you get one wrong. So yes, Terry's picks are correct here in race number 8, 10, 6, 4, and 3. And Nick pointed out that on my box it up, and this is, thank you for pointing this out. I love quality checks. Jam in Jimtown is the 2 horse, not the 7 horse. I do have that correct here. I must have just accidentally hit the 2 instead of the 7 somehow. I don't know how you would even do that on a keyboard, but apparently I did. I'll try to correct it in a minute, Terry. For me in race number 8, you know what race number 8 is for you and I, Terry?
Yeah, it's that losing
race of death.
Death, yeah. Yeah, race of death. That's right.
Yes, because it's going to connect our our hot dog pick 4s to the pick 4 in the, well, actually race number 7 and 8 are going to be races of death all the way across the board. So dueling races of death today.
Yeah.
Number 10, Miss Dillingham is my top choice for race number 8. Only horse in the field with the last race speed figure greater than par for this level and had across the board improvement. So this horse looks like it's trending higher. And not only is it trending higher, but had a really nice workout in between races. Number 4, Tis a Sharpie, third start off of a layoff. Can win from the front, the middle, or the back. And in a race here where there's some cheap speed only, and those cheap speed horses tend to fade when pressured, I think you're going to either see a horse that sits right off the pace, or maybe the speed of the speed can steal it if it gets the right fractions. But most likely, I think a horse that's probably 3rd or 4th with some great late legs is going to get this job done. Number 3, Fleeter than, yeah, could be the pace setter here. This is one of these horses that could get to the front and then fade at the end, maybe steal it. Does have the fastest quarter-mile fractions. And has been more of a stalker of late. So the only thing for me is the distance. There's a big question as to whether or not can handle mile 70 yards. And then finally, number 6, Malibu Anthem at PARX has run 5 times, found his way into the winner's circle, 4 of them. And then if he's running any other distance or any other track, 0 wins in 14 efforts. Horse does tie for the top pedigree. And as we mentioned, Terry, this one does wrap up our hot dog pick 4. So let's bring that up in there today. So you like in race number 5?
I like the first leg is the 8 and the 1. Second leg, I like the 3, 7, and 4. Third leg, I like the 12, 6, and 1. And the fourth leg, I like the 10 and the 6.
And then for me, it was tough for me, Terry, because I wanted to go 3, 3, 3, 2, and I almost singled that 10. In race number 8, I was really close to singling that 10, but I didn't. I didn't have that much courage. I was thinking about it, but so I ended up going 3, 3, 2, 2. Both of us, Terry, staying in our $20 limit because we're good boys, right?
That's right.
Yes, we do as we are told, so to speak. All right, so let's move off to race number 9. This is the third leg of the pick 5. Hold on a second. I was doing something in the background there, so I correcting something. I'll fix my box it up in just a moment at the end of the show when we revise it and have the correct one out there. Race number 9 is a mile and a 16th. It's another handicapping race, $55,000. A mile and a 16th profile of a winner. It looks like this: 13 races, 7 won by stalkers and closers, 4 going wire to wire. And there's an absolute bias if you wear a number 4 or above. Your first 2 picks, including your best bait of the day, meet that profile, Terry.
That's right. And I like that number 7, Exit Right. It is my best pick of the day. Won 2 races in a row at PARX and has the highest last race speed rating and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. This trainer and jockey combination the last 14 days has finished in the money 8 out of 12 times and won 3 of those, and has a good workout on March 2nd, 47 and change, breezing. It was the second best out of 67. Then I like number 9, Secret Path. He has won 2 out of the last 3 races at PARX and has a high percentage winning trainer, Lewis Lender Jr. And then number 3, Silver Edge. Finished in the money in the last 3 races, running 3rd in its last race. So number 2 is my 4th pick, Big Beautiful Wall. Won 2 races in a row at PARX and is now going for a hat trick.
Must be owned by Donald Trump. Race number 9. There is a lack of early speed here. Get to the front. and you probably and do so at a decent pace, and you might go wire to wire as the winner. I agree with you, Terry. Exit Right is worthy of the best bet candidacy. If you hadn't stolen him from me, probably would have put the same tag on him. Should be able to set the pace without much pressure and has a last race speed figure over par. Number 9, Secret Path, is one of the few in here that showed to be improving in its last race. Most others regressed a bit last time out. Has done well at PARX too with 4 wins, 4 races, 2 wins, second and a third. They Shot Sunny, fastest quarter mile fractions any horse at this field's been able to produce. So maybe this horse with the top pedigree can ride right along with number 7, Exit Right, and the two of them go 1-2 all the way around the track. And They Shot Sunny's second start after a layoff. And then finally, number 3, Silver Edge, was a tough call for me over number 2. Big, beautiful wall, but does have the second best early and late pace combination behind the number 7, Exit Right. That brings us to race number 10. Terry, we're getting through this pretty quick, right?
Yeah, we are. So it's pretty
5.5 furlongs. This is a handicap 8,000 for a purse of $55,000. Terry, just a quick recap on the 5.5 furlong profile of a winner. 27 races, 21 by speed, 10-1 wire to wire. Small penalty if you wear a 2 or a 3. Otherwise, everything else plays pretty fairly.
All
Scratch. Right. I think that one horse scratching out of here did a huge favor for me because I was really struggling between the 1 and the 6 at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I know it was your top choice, but I was going to leave it off mine altogether. So I even said, "Oh, come on, please, one of you scratch." And when I look back, it scratched. So I spoke it into the universe.
Yeah, you could have done that. And one of the another reasons that I liked is my wife's first name is Beverly. So although it looked really good. So anyway, in this race, in the 10th race, I like number 9, Brazen, is my first choice. Finished in the money in the last 10 races at PARX and won 6 of those races. Number 10, Royal Blue Boy, is my second choice. Ran second in his last race, and he's finished. He has the best speed figure at today's starters. And then the trainer jockey combination, the last 14 days, has won 2 out of 7 races. Number 11, Portal One, has won his last 4 races. And he switches to a high percentage trainer and jockey. The trainer wins 25% of the time when he drops a horse off of a claim, which is what he's done here. And he has a good 3 furlong workout on March 3rd. Number 6, Sneakiness, ran second in his last race.
Yeah, Terry, I don't know. Did you get a chance last night before I move on to my rationale for my 4 picks? Did you watch the Horse Center last night, Terry?
I did. And that young lady is really impressive. I know my wife really enjoyed watching that with me, and she marks all the boxes as far as I'm concerned. Has a great attitude. So
yeah, if you haven't had a chance to catch that yet, go, like I said, subscribe here at Horse Racing Radar TV, and then go on over there and check that out, because Skylar Spanabel, she brought up some very interesting stuff about Tampa Bay Downs. And this weekend, we'll be talking with the recent champion for the National Handicapping Contest about the Tampa Bay Downs, the Tampa Bay Derby. And one of the things I'm not gonna spoil the show. You're gonna want to listen to what she has to say about how certain things about being close to the ocean impact the races at Tampa Bay, and when they impact them. So it was something I never even thought about, and apparently everybody there knows it. So that's an insider secret that you're not going to get anywhere else. So make sure you check that out. Horse Racing Radar TV. You want to give that a watch.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, I was really surprised about that. I've been going to races for over 60 years, and I'd never thought about that either. I'd never heard of that. So it's really something else.
That was exactly. I was like, hey, wait a minute, what did you just say? She created a double take in the name of one of the horses in the field today.
Yep.
So race number 10, 5.5 furlongs. As I mentioned, speed probably wins this race, and this one is one that should have plenty of it, Terry, because 8 of the 10 horses in this field want to be on or near the lead. So there's a chance that this one's going to have a pretty good pace. So you're going to want some late legs, and you're probably going to want either that or the speed of the speed. Brazen should be close to the lead and showed better late pace numbers in the last out. This is the 4th race in the cycle for this horse. The last time Brazen ran a 4-race cycle, the fourth race was the best of the bunch. And I love to rewind and see how horses done at the same place as they did the last time they ran the same sort of cycle. Number 11, Portal 1 is 3 for 3 at PARX. You can't do any better than that, right, Terry?
That's right.
It is the first race since December 22nd. Last time the horse came off the bench, guess what? It won. So not a problem coming off the bench at all. 14 furlongs of workouts since January 28th, including one of my favorite angles for horses coming off the bench, and that is the Bullet and Go. Number 10, Royal Blue Boy. Major early pace and late pace improvement last time out. Ran at this distance 7 times, finishing in the money in 6 of them. And then finally, Sneakiness does have the top early and late pace combination to complement its top early pace as well, and owns the top pedigree. And I'm very thankful that the one horse, Beverly, scratched, because I swear to you, I edit copy pasted one over the other at least 6-7 times today, Terry.
Wow.
That's how torn I was between the two. And then the final race on the card today, race number 11, is the claiming 7,500 non-winners of 4 lifetime. It is a mile and 70 yards. Quick recap of the profile of a winner so far. 1 mile and 73 yards have been 63 races, 43 won by speed, 16 wire to wire. You get a small inside 3 bias and a small outside 8 bias. What do you say to close out the show and to nail this Philly Big 5 on the way? And then this last race is always a killer too, for some reason. But anyhow, let's hope it's not a killer today, that it is the one that brings us home with the grand prize.
Well, my top choice is number 7, Mama, I Got This. And she's got this one, I'm sure. She won her last race at PARX. The jockey in the last 7 days has won 5 out of 14, been in the money 13 out of 14 races. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 out of 14 races. Then number 13, Tano, finished 4th, beaten only 2 lengths versus similar to last start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 10, Sam Aronti can close from deep to win and drops in class. And number 12, Load Up Mo, she won her last race at PARX.
All right, so I look at this race, Terry, and I think they can walk in this one and probably win. As 8 of the 11 have only ever won closing. Get to the front, and I feel like you got a really good shot to go wire to wire. That's why I'm starting out with the 5 and number 13. I think they're probably going to go 1-2 out of the gates. So you have Nimble Beast, the 5 horse, having the top early pace by a decent margin, and also owns the top early pace and late pace combination, and showed some nice 4 furlong improvement last time out. So it's not the turn at 1 mile and 70 yards, but still mid-race moves. I like them. Number 13, Tiano, maybe. Look out if this horse breaks to the lead, because if he gets to the front, he might not look back. And between the 2 speed horses, the 13 definitely has a history of starting out better. This horse was the favorite last time out. Lukewarm. I think it was like 3-1 favorite, something like that. But nonetheless, trainer Felix Flores Coba has won 5 out of the last 15 times. His horse was the favorite, lost, came back to win the next time out. Number 4, Mr. Thrifty, has the top last race speed figure for this crew, which was above par for this level. And this horse should be better in its second start off a layoff. And finally, number 7, Mama, I Got This, showed some 2 furlong and late pace improvement last time. So at the beginning and the end, some people call that a Z pattern. It's been in the money 8 out of 11 at the distance. And this one will be rolling downhill at the end. My problem with that, though, is I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of pace to chase, because, as I mentioned, 8 out of the 11 in this field have been in the back of the pack for the majority of the race. All right, Terry, now is the time for the big reveal. Drum roll, please. All right, so here is our first attempt ever at a Philly. How in the hell did that happen? The Philly Big 5. Do you see? How did your 135 and my 93 make it? I have no idea how that did that. So go ahead and tell us how you stacked your ticket, and I'll try to make it look better.
First of all, I spread out in the first 2 legs. In the 7th race, I like the 12, 6, 1, 4, 2, and 7. And in the 8th race, I like the 10, 6, 4, 3, and 7. And I'm counting on my best bet of the day to win that 9th race. And then I like the 10th race, the 9, 10, 11. And the 8th or 11th race, I like the 7. Wait a minute, is that right? 7, 8. Nope, 7, 10. It should be 7, 10, 13.
7, 10, 13?
Yeah, should be.
All right, hold on a second. 7, 10, 13.
Yes,
because the 8, I think, is scratched there, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
So 7, 10, 13. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go 4 horses in the first leg. 2 by 2. I was going to single that 7, but I don't want to live or die on one horse in the in one race of a pick 5. Then I'm going to go 4 and 3 to close it out. Mine is $96. I know that's hard to see. Terry's is 7, 10, 13 at the end. I apologize for that. His is $135. I did manage to correct my box it up. So let me bring the box it up again. So here's our box it ups, our prime rib hot dog pick 4s. And then again, finally looking at our full picks. And again, Terry's pick 5 ends with the 7, the 13, and the 10, not the 7, 8, and 10. Okay. There's our full picks. And here, Terry, if we happen to win this one today, folks, if you like Terry's number 5 and you like my number 1, do us a huge favor. Go on over to horseracingtoday.net. Click on the horse racing HRT gear, and then you'll see this pop up. Buy yourself a number 1 or number 15 hat. You're going to look great. But today is the last day to save 15% to look great and help support the show.
Yep.
Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here today, Terry?
I was wondering how the free sheet on guaranteed tip sheets looked today.
Well, today, if you're going to do any kind of playing down at Turf Paradise, make sure you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It is the free track today. Just simply click on Turf Paradise, and you will get all of our picks there. Number 1, Classy Class. That's Terry is our best bet in race number 2.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you like what you saw today, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Horse Race the number 2 day, and like us on Facebook at Horse Race the number 2 day, and then Instagram at Horse Race 2 day.
Yes, and don't forget tonight, David Cabrera, 8 p.m. tonight with Sean, Swiss Army Sean, and myself at the Horse Center. Tomorrow night, we'll have on the reigning, defending champion for the handicapping contest. He's going to be the Eclipse Handicapping Person of the Year. And then tomorrow, Terry and I will be back same time to do Gulfstream Park. Get out of the cold and miserable rain at PARX. Get down to some sun and fun in South Florida. Terry will be off Friday. Tom and I will be back at 1 o'clock on Friday to go over some races once again in Australia.
Sounds good to me.
All right, folks. We appreciate you joining us once again today. We hope everybody has a fantastic hump day and that every single one of our picks in the Philly Pick 5 ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.